take ourselves back to the basics of understanding what is ITIL and how this can really help people, practitioners like you, to make things more valuable for your end users or customers.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the industrial revolution, where we had all the banking or so-called non-IT organizations were using IT as one of their backbone. They think about a bank earlier days, even for their transactions that they are doing it, they definitely were dependent on the IT enablement or an IT department to keep up their applications, to keep up their interfaces, to keep up their infrastructure up and running fine. But the biggest challenge was for the bank, they had no clue on how to manage these IT services on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They were having big time challenge in identifying accountabilities, responsible person, if there was any glitches in their infrastructure, if there were any outages reported in their infrastructure, they don't know whom to approach and how to resolve this issue. So
Mm-hmm.
to overcome this challenge is where there came a disruption in the IT world, so called as insourcing or outsourcing. What do you mean by insourcing or outsourcing? So today, think about any non-IT organizations, whether it is a bank or insurance or any financial institutions or schooling or a defense organization. They simply wanted to outsource their IT services to an organization who can support them end to end.
Mm-hmm.
Think about any IT organization today. They have a separate vertical more focused on enabling services to clients, like the banking services, which we are talking about, which is nothing
Mm-hmm.
but outsourcing. Now, the other problem that came in with the outsourcing was, hey, what should be our contractual bonding between you, I am being a service provider, you being a service consumer? How can I really have a streamlined, close connected bonding with you in a form of a contract? So there came the ideation of process. Let's have a unique process that you and me will agree, and then we will ensure that we are following it. And if you fail to achieve that, you will be paying penalties and compensations to me. So that led the way for a service management best practice framework, and that's none other than ITIL. So the full form of ITIL is Information Technology Infrastructure Library. What do you find in a library? It's more of like
Books and all.
books, of course, and these books are basically nothing but solutions or guidance that can help you for the problem that you identified. Very
Mm-hmm.
similarly, ITIL is more of like a guidance path for any organization to run their IT service management or service operations shop. They can use ITIL as the baseline process framework. Like, for an example, you are a systems engineer. If you are being encountered with an incident could be anything between an application not functioning to a server not operating as per the design. Those all will report it to you as in the form of an incident, and you are troubleshooting it, fixing it, resolving it, restoring it back to normal so that the customer continues to work.
Mm-hmm.
So until this end-to-end cycle, right from they approach you until you take an action and resolve it, this entire workflow has to be mapped, designed with a
Mm-hmm.
baseline process. And that process is a guidance path that is being given through this ITIL,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you start with ITIL journey, it started with version 1 that was way back in somewhere in the 1990s. That's
Mm-hmm.
where people started talking about service support, service transition, and more focused on service.
Mm-hmm.
But as we gradually moved across into the service, every organization is now shifted their mindset from a service to a product oriented mindset. So ITIL cannot stay with the older ways of doing things when organizations are moving fast with a product mindset. That's when ITIL also went through a transition. Precisely in 2018 November, they came out with ITIL 4, which was eminently focusing on the digital economy. And I think the COVID outbreak that happened was a really big game changer for ITIL to promote organizations to deliver more value faster, right? As we move on the journey, now we are talking about AI everywhere, right? It's been proven, right? If you do not know AI, which means you're laid back, right?
Yeah.
And many Fortune 500 organization CEOs are actually talking about AI, whether they literally know the meaning of it or not, but they are saying AI. AI means laying off 12,000 people. AI means laying off 4,000 people, right? That's exactly the mindset is everyone. But my thought process is slightly different. You are trying to make higher productivity for your teammates, team members by introducing AI solutions that can really remove the manual work that you're doing today in your current role that you're performing. That should be the ideation around it. To support that, ITIL has come out with a new transition, and that's basically your V5, which more focuses on digital products, digital services. Because today, whether you take a banking or an insurance company, every organization wanted to have a digital product being enabled. For an example, even if you take an insurance organization, for detecting fraudulent claim, they are using AI models. That's basically a digital product. Today, if you take, and that's a surprising thing that I'm really looking at, and you can also chime in, any product, any digital product you buy today, they're saying AI is already integrated right from a television until a mobile phone that you buy, iPhone 17. It all comes with AI companion that can make your life easy. And I was even more surprised when I went to exchange my washing machine, which actually washes the clothes and dries the clothes. And he said, when I asked him for an exchange, he took me right deep into the showroom and he showed me one washing machine and he said, "Hey, this is with AI technology." I was like, wow, what this AI technology can do. It says it can sense the weather condition outside, and based on that, the drying can happen even more seamlessly. This is wow, right? So we are heading up into a direction where every products today is an digitally enabled product using AI. Why only ITIL has to be only focusing on service? And that's why they have come out with a new transformation, which is ITIL V5, more focuses on the digital products. I will be using this term product value very often because that's exactly ITIL V5 is all about, right? This is a basic why every organization is moving into the IT using ITIL as a best practice framework, because for the very big reason is ITIL is staying relevant to the current industry and the digital economy to keep things moving faster and also to keep things more digitally enabled. ITIL is going to be the game changer in most of the organization. I want to take a pause here. I want to hear back your resonation also to understand how digitally your department is transformed. To put it in other words, how much of AI you're using in your day in and day out job.
Oh, that personally, you mean?
Personally, yes.
Personally, I think every day because we work with the Google Workspace suite, and we have Gemini AI, so I use daily, like daily.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when it comes to your organization department, how much, I mean, what are the other processes that you're working? I did really give an example of an incident management where something is actually a burning issue and you're fixing it. But apart from that, what are the other processes that you work in your organization from your current role?
What do you mean by processor?
Process. What are the other processes that you work in your current engagement with your company? Do you do incident? Do you do change management? What all you do as part of your job role?
Basically, it's more based on how do you say that in English? Like IT service desk. So it's most of the time resolution of incidents or yeah, or giving advices, like if they have some specific question, if they're allowed to do something or download certain stuff,
Mhm,
if they need to implement something to like make their work better. I remember
mhm,
yesterday, I think I had a ticket. The engineering team wanted to download clothes on it.
mhm,
Um, we have some like specific security policy, so we only want to work, sorry, with Gemini. But he had some like good argument about clone being able to add some value because they can use it to code and like yeah, it would just avoid them to how to say that spend a lot of time to do it manually, or Gemini was not that good to the code.
mhm.
So yeah, it's like this type of request I have during the day, like new
Hmm.
software procurement to add some value to the work, or just like incidents.
Okay. Okay. Basically, you are the frontline firefighting team, right? That's how I
Yeah.
call the service desk, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And any high-rated customer shouting on top of their voice is basically the service desk feels the heat of it.
Hmm.
For someone doing mistakes somewhere, they all catch hold of the service desk. And
Exactly.
I've played this role for about like 1 year
Hmm.
in my current engagement. So I know how things can really quickly shape up, and people can
Yeah,
start blaming the service desk for something going
exactly.
on somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So that's nice. Good to hear that. So
Mhm.
slightly shifting our gears to understand the new qualification scheme. You don't have to really know everything here, but one thing you need to be very clear about is you are at this level. This is
Mhm.
the prerequisite baseline for you to take up either practice manager or managing professional or strategic leader titles that you can earn. These are all the levels that you have in ITIL qualification scheme. Yeah.
Mhm.
And foundation being the prerequisite, and based on your job role that you're performing, my recommendation would be after you complete your foundation, you can actually watch out for something called as practice manager. Why you wanted to suggest that this base? Because of practice manager has got a module called as monitor, support, and fulfill. This is exactly that you're doing day in and day out as a service desk function, where your major job is to monitor the tickets, incoming number of tickets, or responding to calls or responding to emails, which basically you're monitoring and you're supporting to fulfill or accomplish or also provide any suggestions or any request that's coming on your way. You are actually taking them and processing them. So the best suited module for you after you complete your foundation is going to be ITIL monitor, support, and fulfill. On the other side of managing professional, this is more focused on product development, service enablement. Together with product and services, you need to enable experience also. And here is the fun part, right? When you want to buy an iPhone today, um, when you ask about the thought leaders about this product as an iPhone, we all know iPhone is a product, and also it
Mhm.
provides you the mobile services, right? But if you ask the thought leader, they say, hey, we are not selling iPhones, we are selling experience. Basically, people are going to experience our product and service, right? So that's the focus area, where how can you enable that kind of an experience to your end users. And this is a module, the strategic leader module is meant for leaders who are sitting in the driver's seat. So if you think about any organization thought leader, maybe in your side, you might be having someone like an IT director or VP of IT director who's more focused on taking strategic decisions, maybe moving from one enterprise application to another enterprise application, or changing tools that you're using today, right? If I may ask you, which ticketing workflow tool that you're using today to track your incidents or requests that's coming on your way?
We are using Jira Service Management for the ticket.
Jira
Yeah,
for,
exactly. Jira.
okay, great. That's awesome. And how many, I mean, how many number of incidents do you manage in a day?
It really depends of the day. For example, yeah, the beginning of the week are usually the busiest day. So yeah, Monday and Tuesday. Uh, I will say, yeah, incidents. I would say maybe 15, because we have an office in Boston as well. So,
Okay.
with I will say that in English, like we don't have the same time zone. So usually they make a lot of tickets on during the weekend, like on Friday, and then when we come on Monday, we have to catch up those incidents. So yeah, I would say around 15.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. That's great. This is a qualification scheme that you can think about. And one highlight about this is any qualification scheme that you get into, whether you are after completing these 3 modules, then you are entitled for you to do once you have these 3 titles, you're automatically going to get ITIL Master as one of your highest level qualification. So until that level, any level you take, it's valid for 3 calendar years, including your foundation. So which means if you have completed your exam, a foundation, you have about like 3 complete years for you to renew your certificate. Now the question comes in is, hey, what should I be doing next after completing ITIL V5 foundation to keep my certificate active? 2 options. One is either you can reappear for your foundation exam once again at the end of the 3rd year to renew your certificate for next 3 years, which is the easiest option. But the highly recommended option is after you complete your foundation, any point in the 3 year, try to look out for another module that you can do in the ITIL family. My strong recommendation based on your role description is to look out for ITIL monitor, support, and fulfill module. This is going to help you to get the scalability of the next level that you're performing. So by doing this next module, whatever the new expiry date is for this new module that you have completed, your foundation certificate will get extended automatically. What does it mean is you don't have to renew your foundation. You just simply have to do another higher level module in this ITIL family. Automatically your foundation also gets extended for the new certification expiry date. It's a personal choice that you want to make, whether you want to reappear for the same module, or let me take another module in the ITIL family, so thereby I am getting new qualification plus my foundation also gets renewed. Yeah, I take a pause here and ask you if there are any questions.
Yeah, not for now. It's like really clear for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
I would take the time on my side maybe to go deeper in the different ITIL certification I can pass. But yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the levels that you have. And at the center, you have another level called as transformation. That's exactly everyone wanted to be in terms of providing change in an IT side of the world, right? That's exactly what we are really looking at. And an additional module that is introduced is AI governance part. Of course, in foundation, we are not going to touch so deeply, but when you go into the next modules, you will find AI governance as a heartbeat. Because today we have the data, but how is that data being governed is a question. And that's been solved, or not been solved yet, but at least they have a framework to understand how AI governance can be really shaped up. Okay, so that's the overall idea here. Any questions so far?
No, not for now.
Okay, let's move on. Right. So quickly about this course, definitely there are about few key concepts that we're going to take a quick look at it, like the digital product and service management. And you must remember the term service management, because ITIL is all about service management today. And how different is this in a given organization? Like I gave you an idea. Take a bank. Of course, they don't want to have the headache of managing the IT services on their own.
Yeah.
Instead, they wanted to focus on their core business, and their core businesses into could be into banking product itself, right? And to support that, we wanted to have an important solution, and that solution is basically in the form of a service management, where I outsource all of my IT to an expert, and I will allow the expert to manage all of my IT services on my own, on my behalf, so that I can focus more onto my core banking to improve my bank's profits, rather than just focusing on IT services idealistically, right? So that's the core. And then we will be talking about service relationship. It's really not new concept. It just that we are getting enlightened with what a service relationship is all about. Then we will be introducing ourselves with ITIL value system. These are some of the quick keywords that you may want to remember, which we will get a deeper clarity as we move along the journey. Of course, in foundation, we will touch on governance at a very high level, maybe to understand the definition of it, and then we will move further into the principles. So the target for today is we will think about first 4 modules. We will be able to comfortably complete, and tomorrow we will be doing the remaining modules, right? That's the plan that we have. And we'll take some examples related to your own industry, so that way it becomes much easy for you to connect. And help me understand, what is the type of business that your industry does? What is in your organization is into?
So basically, it's a quantum computer company. I don't know if you have ever heard about it.
Not sure. First time I'm hearing it.
Oh, okay. So basically, they are building quantum product they have to sell to engineers or searcher, and then they can use this product to implement in the machine. So the machine can do like a really high calculation that a basic computer cannot do. So that's basically what they are doing. Yeah, it's quite
Basically,
hard to explain.
you're building supercomputers.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
And then we're selling it.
Okay, great. I can think about like you are developing supercomputers, and if anyone has gotten a crazy idea about implementing an AI that can be a disruptive or disruption for an organization, you are going to provide resources in the form of a system where they can come and implement their ideas in the system, and they can make it things live, because this has got high processing, so that it can, in fact, AI models are running under GPCs or GPUs, what do you call them as, which is more require more processing requires more intellect in terms of driving that value. So you are providing that baseline intellect with the help of a system. Is my understanding correct?
Yes, I think it half correct. We are more like building the control stack, like the
Mm-hmm.
hardware, and then we are selling the hardware, so the hardware can talk to the software, which is the chip.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, um, yeah, how do you explain that? So basically, the hardware will just send some electronic pulse to the qubit, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
and this will make like the calculations.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I don't know if it
Makes
makes sense for you, but
makes
yeah.
sense. Makes sense. Absolutely. Great. Thanks for your explanation.
Welcome.
Much helpful. Right. Let's